So it looks like that Xbox might become a third-party developer. If you don't know what's going on, there's been rumors that maybe all the Xbox titles might go to PS5. But not just that, most of all, Xbox shut down both two studios, Arkane Studios and Tango Gameworks. Arkane Studio is known for making the Dishonored franchise, and Tango Gameworks known as making Hi-Fi Rush, which is one of my favorite games of 2023. With all that going on with Xbox, this might be the end of Xbox Series S and X. So today I'm going to do a video of predicting what Xbox exclusives that might be ported to PS5. So first up is the Forza franchise. So obviously they're not going to put Forza Motorsport 5, 6, and 7 because the music license expired and they got moved to digital stores. And of course the rest of Horizon games, but they'll likely put the latest Forza Motorsport that came out last year, Rise Sun and Rome. This is a game that was a launch title for the Xbox One. It did receive not so good reviews by critics, but it's starting to little by little get its cult following. This is a game that I don't think it might not happen to port it on PS5, but it would be kind of cool if they did, with its controls on a DualSense. But in reality, I don't think that will happen. Sunset Overdrive, this is a game that I think that they might maybe port it to PS5, and I think they should. The game's going to turn 10 years old this year, and I don't know what will happen. Do you think maybe they'll do a remaster, or they could remove installs due of license expire? But hopefully that won't happen, and maybe instead they'll do a remaster and they'll renew the license and port it on PS5. But this is that would be great porting to PS5. This is an Xbox One game that should not be lost in time. The Halo games, I don't think they may not only put Halo Infinite, but maybe they might do a Halo like complete collection, maybe like called Halo Anthology Collection. So Halo Infinite is, sure, the game did have an underwhelming and confusing story, but this would be cool seeing Halo Infinite on PS5, feeling all the weapons with the DualSense. The gameplay was fun. It introduced this open world to the Halo franchise. Well, Replay Collection, this is another game that it would be great porting this game on PS5, but I don't know in reality it can really work. Because if port on PS5, how are they gonna run the 360 games? Because the 360 games were technically the same ones as Xbox, but using backwards compatible. But it would be great porting this game, having all the classics Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Jet Force Gemini on the PS5. But in reality, I think that's unlikely. But maybe the Switch port could be possible, or for the next gen Switch console. The Gears of War franchise, I think will likely go on PS5, but all of them, they're called Gears of War's Anthology, comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, Judgment, and Gears of War 5. Maybe port Gears of War's Tactics. Sure, I mean Gears of War 1 and 3 were excellent games. 4 and 5, they did have good gameplay, but the first half of the story starts good, but after all, the second half ending underwhelming. I think chances are they will likely put all these Gears of War games, but maybe likely chance put the remastered Gears of War and 4 and 5 to PS5. And maybe that Tactics spin-off as well too. Quantum Break. When the game came out, it did receive underwhelming reviews, but years go by, the game caught a cult following. The game is developed by Remedy that did the Max Payne franchise, Control, and the Alan Wake franchise. This is a game that I thought was underrated, and it would be great ported on PS5. A year ago, the game did got removed on digital stores due to losing a license to the soundtrack, but 2 months later they bought it back in digital stores. So it could be likely we can see a PS5 port to this game. This is another game that I actually thought it was underrated, and I think this is another game that should not be lost in time. Rico was a forgotten Xbox exclusive. It received underwhelming reviews. I did play the game once and I thought it was boring. It's unlikely going to be ported to PS5. I think it's another game that will be completely forgotten. Same here with State of Decay 2. I actually forgot that the 4th one's coming. But 2 will never be ported. The game sucked, and I think it's not going to happen. Crackdown 3. I didn't think Crackdown 3 was that bad, but I'm not sure it holds up well. But I mean, I didn't think it sucked, but it's unlikely going to be ported because it's another failure to Xbox. Bleeding Edge. I don't think Bleeding Edge is gonna happen. Multiplayer online game that sucked and was boring. And one more other game that I think that's unlikely gonna happen is Battletoads, the 2020 remake. That was an underwhelming game. It was meh. I mean, it was fun as a beat 'em up game, but the rest of the game is like trying to make different genres didn't work and made it boring and repetitive. The cartoon parts were funny, fun to watch, but the gameplay isn't that interesting. I think it's another game that will be forgotten and not be ported to PS5. But here's another 2 games that will likely be ported on PS5. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now this would be actually interesting to port this on PS5. Now, they're not interesting games to me, but seeing this in the PS5 going on to play with DualSense controls will really feel maybe realistic. And I think it might likely happen maybe. Starfield's another game that it might get a PS5 port, but the rumors saying that it might not happen in years. That could likely happen still, but we don't know how long. And yeah, with Halo Infinite Starfield, if they port on PS5, I really hope that the physical copies will have the disc and not be like online connection. But, well, not sure that'll happen. And the last final game that I'm gonna say just it's not gonna happen. We all know that Redfall, the game that sucks. I think it's online only, and that's never gonna happen, so be ported on PS5. That's all exclusives I think on PS5. 2 is coming, and Hellblade I will likely go on PS5 too, and the other upcoming games coming this year, such as Indiana Jones and Airworld.